I think Calvin's associated with a lot of controversy, primarily because any time that you clearly speak the Christian truth, you are going to be controversial. The fact is that there are two and only two kinds of people in the world, as Kuyper understood, those who are unregenerate and those who are regenerate. If you speak the Christian message clearly, then you are necessarily going to arouse opposition among those people whose hearts have not yet been regenerated by God. It seems to me that in addition, a fair amount of the controversy that Calvin is still associated with comes out of the fact that you have, to use a double negative, not disinterested parties. And so, for instance, when they think about the execution of Servetus, people start from what they already think of Calvinism, what they already think of the theological system that Calvin was part of, and in the light of that, interpret and read the evidence differently with regard to whether or not Calvin was too harsh in being willing to see Servetus burned at the stake, even though Calvin had made objections to the idea of that being the kind of execution that Servetus would suffer. People can decide that he's too harsh if they already disagree with Calvinism. They can too easily, in fact, back away from criticizing him if they are associated with Calvinism. And so much of the controversy there comes out of where people stand before they start to think about these issues. One other thing that's important, I think, with a fair amount of the criticism that is offered of Calvin is the fact that Calvin lived in a different time, and we now are culturally in quite a different spot. And that means that there are things which today seem to us to be beyond the pale of the way that we should respond to other people, both verbally and in more significant ways with regard to government and punishment. We don't put Calvin within his context and understand that within his context he was actually quite moderate about the ways that he thought about things such as heresy.